Okay, ladies, I'm going to gather everybody back in here. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch. And just a quick reminder that after Wendy's finished speaking, that the prayer teams will be back upstairs. I'm glad that you're making use of them. They're wonderful prayer warriors. So I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Wendy Redroad, who has been part of our board and part of our journey here to get here today. And I first met Wendy at Good Shepherd in Colleyville as she was researching for 10 years and had mentioned to me something she had written called How to Forgive What You'll Never Forget. And I was so taken by that title because I believe we all have areas that, I'll speak for myself, that I have to kind of fake it till I make it, where I'm longing to forgive, but I'm just not able to do it. And so I went to her class, and it was transformative. So before Wendy converted to Catholicism in 2017, her dedication to women's outreach ministry spanned over a decade as a content writer, speaker, class facilitator, and director of the program development. She's a parishioner and class facilitator at Good Shepherd in Colleyville and remains active in women's outreach, writing, and teaching. Please help me welcome my dear friend Wendy Redroad. Is that yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry.
Who needs a nap? When they asked me what kind of sandwich I want, I said, don't give me turkey, I'm old. It'll make me sleepy. And also, speaking of old, I just have to say this. The last time I spoke in this capacity, I didn't need these to read. And so this is so unfair because Jackie and Father Zachary, of course, have the young eyes. And so you know how it goes, ladies. You put these on so you can see, but then you look up and you can't see. And somebody asked me if I could, she says, you want to borrow my, are they bifocals? Or what? And I said, oh no, then I'll be tripping on the stairs and we'll really be in trouble. So please, this is the cross that I bear. No one threw me in a well today or anything like that, so it's all good, right? Anthony DeMaglio once wrote, behold the one beholding you and smiling. It has been such a joy. I'm a lector in my parish, and so I prefer to sit over there because it's just a habit of just looking out and praying and watching over everyone. What a joy it is to just see you get to know one another, get to know your neighbors, and laugh and talk and do all the things that we do as women, just to find ways to connect. And so just to take just a minute, just settling in for lunch, could we all just take 1 second and just think about that? Behold the one beholding you and smiling. My prayer all along is that we would just feel the Father smiling over us as his daughters today before my talk. So just a little bitty moment here. Nice. Okay, so 5 years ago, I embraced Catholicism with all my heart and with an open mind, and the Catholic Church embraced me right back. It's been a long journey. It's been a very long journey. The truth, beauty, and goodness that I have watched over these last 5 years, watching you all as individual women, some of you that I'm getting to know, and your families, bringing your children into Mass on Sundays. It's just been a joy to watch, and it's nourished me. There's been so much talk about this, about nourishing our faith, and you're growing me up, and you're helping to grow my Catholic roots. You're nourishing me still to this day. So many people here just come in to give me a hug and say, we're so glad you're here. It's going to be okay. And one friend said, go run the stairs, up and down a few times if you're a little bit nervous. So I did, now my legs hurt. So how does a Protestant with over a decade of service in women's outreach, wind up in a Catholic parish and an RCIA to boot. I was always a gym rat, and so I had a girlfriend. Her name's Delisa. I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name. We've been friends for about 10 years, and we met at an all-ladies fitness center, and we took salsa. I knew that she was Catholic, and she knew that I was Protestant Christian, but other than just if we had meals together, we'd pray over our meals, but we really never had religious conversations. We were at the gym to burn calories and shake our booties. And so that was the faith that we were united in at the time. And so, again, just years and years, I get to know her, and over the course of our friendship, one day we finally started opening up about our faith. And I told her that I was feeling restless and fatigued, and that there was something in my heart that was longing for more, but that I didn't know what that more looked like. And I said, she knew that I was very busy. She didn't know that I was in outreach, and we work with women in crisis, and we'll go into a little bit that later. And I said, I sit in my closet almost every day for like an hour, just in the quiet. Who knows where this is going? And I just need somewhere that I can go and do that between work and home. Oh, I know what you need. You need to come to my parish and sit in adoration. What's that? Well, adoration is a place where you can come and sit and adore Christ for an hour in the still and in the quiet. And it's real, she is at Good Shepherd Catholic Community, and that's my home parish. And she said, it's very relaxing and a simple atmosphere. And, you're a Native American, kind of a hippie. You'll love it. You'll love it. She knows me. So I give birth to hippies. I come from a long line of bohemian hippies or whatever. So she invites me, and I say, I'm so fatigued and overwhelmed. And I said, no one will talk to me, meaning, please, I don't want anyone to talk to me because I'm such an introvert. And she said, I don't think so. And I said, no one's going to ask me to join the church. No one's going to give me a coffee mug with the church logo on it, which I will promptly give away. She said, they will not. She said, but listen, if you pass somebody walking in or out of adoration, they're going to be friendly there and nod and say hello. But that's it. And so that was the deal. I was in. I was actually working in Southlake at the time, and so 3 days a week after work, I would go to Good Shepherd and sit in the Adoristic Chapel for about an hour at a time. And mind you, there's been no RCIA. I have never been to a mass, nothing like that. And so I'm sitting in there, and to this day, it's just this memory that I cherish. I still remember what it sounds like when the air conditioner would click on, and just that quiet stillness. For the first time in my life, to gaze upon the crucifix and study the wounds of the Christ, and just be completely overwhelmed that he would die for the saint that is just me. And I'm nothing special. But I always felt so special sitting in adoration. And so 3 times a week, I'm going to adoration, and very slowly over time, little pieces of my soul were revived. And I started to feel alive again, like I was getting a little glimpse just around the corner of what that more was that I longed for, but couldn't put my finger on. So that year, Good Shepherd had a series of speaker nights. So she invited me. She asked how adoration was going. I told her I loved it like she knew that I would. And so speaker nights are wonderful. They're wonderful. Invite your Protestant friends to speaker nights, and here's why. It feels to them more like a Sunday sermon. So it's a really nice transition anytime you have a speaker night. And they're never going to walk away disgruntled, with their arms like this, because they had to do this. What? You know what I mean? So, because that's an issue. It was an issue for me as a Protestant. I didn't understand why I couldn't take communion. And so these speaker nights were fabulous because none of that was going to come up. And so it was also the first time I'd ever seen anyone wear a black habit and the ropes. Like, I was completely fascinated by this. And so I loved the talk, and she says, hey, if you want, I can just walk you around, show you my parish, take a little tour. All right, that sounds safe enough. So No one's given me a coffee mug with a logo on it just yet, so we're good. So we're walking around, and this is this, and that is that, and blah, blah, blah. And here's the Marian Garden, which I fell in love with right away. And this is the tabernacle, where Jesus is. Remember, I'm a Protestant. What are you talking about? She says, Jesus, she points, he's in there. I said, well, there, Nellie. I point to my heart. Jesus is in here. She says, I know, but he's also in there. No, Jesus is in here. Wendy, Jesus is in there too. No, you don't understand. Jesus lives in my heart. I thought she was trying to tell me that he wasn't in my heart or that I didn't have Jesus. And so I was starting to feel a little bit offended by this. Then she explained again, I know that Jesus is in your heart, Wendy, but he's also the presence of Christ in this tabernacle. And she explained it a little bit, but I'm telling you right now, it was like, Who's on First with Abbott and Costello. I'm telling you right now, if there was a comedy channel for the church triumph, the female saints were shaking their heads and the male saints were probably laughing. So I gave up because obviously my friend didn't get it.